Good evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome to tonight's. I was going to say weight loss coaching live. No, it's definitely not. Tonight's live, just TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. How are we all? Are we all good? We had a great Monday. Tell me, come on board. Share your Monday with me. Tell me what has been going on today. How's your weight loss gone? Mine has gone absolutely. Do you know what? I have been that busy. I will say this and I will repeat it. I will shout it for anyone at the back. Being busy is fantastic for weight loss. It is not an excuse not to lose weight. So many people, life's just too busy at the moment. Brilliant. That means you're not thinking about food, because I've not thought about food all day today. Well, don't worry, we do some weight loss, worthy calories recordings and this, that, and the other. I have literally had, I'll tell you right now, my calories today. I've not added, if it's in your app, don't put it in your trap. Oh, great, my iPad's got 2% battery. Brilliant. Hang on. Let me get today up. I have not added this afternoon my little protein shot from Aldi. Other than that, everything else is in. And I'm not saying this is good, by the way. I've had 1,420 calories today. That is it. Yeah, 18 stone. My iPad just cut off. It's just cut off. 18 stone. Right, 6'5". I've done 13,000 steps and I've trained for an hour and 10 minutes in the gym and I've had 1,420 calories. That's it. Have I been hungry? I've been too busy. I have been too busy to think about food. I've just had a great big tea, 750 calorie tea. Lovely. And I'm not saying it's good for someone my size to eat 1,420 calories. It's all right the odd day. Right? Would I eat that day in, day out? No, because if I did that, I'd crash and burn. But for today, I have just been stupidly busy. Now, will I eat 1,400 calories on average over the week? No, absolutely not. I'll average probably 2,500. And am I going to stop today? No, I'll have another probably 300 calories before I finish today. I'm going to have some fruit in bed. I'm going to have a protein bar and some fruit. So I'll finish there on 1,720. But I've just been too busy to think about food. I've just been absolutely manic. I've not stopped. What have I done today? So I did my live this morning, 8:30 till 9:30. I finished just after 9:30 and I was up and out. Off I went. Grabbed my vlogging camera, grabbed my Meta Ray-Bans. I've gone to Sainsbury's. I was in Sainsbury's for an hour, right? Only because I don't know the shop. And I've given it just a right good route about, really. But I was in there for an hour. It was actually a really hard vlog to film because the Sainsbury's that I went to, if anyone knows it, it's in Blackpool next to the train station. I'm trying to say this without, I don't want to sound like, I'm not being a snob, right? I'm generally not. I'm not that sort of person at all. But it is not the nicest area in the world where the Sainsbury's is in Blackpool, right? And anyone that's from that area will go, yeah, it's not. And there were some random characters in there making some very random noises. It's next to the train station, so there's a lot of travellers coming and going through there. It's obviously some holidays. So, yeah, I probably chose the wrong Sainsbury's to go to. Anyway, we did the vlog, and I've edited it, and it's actually all right. I think there's some good advice in there, some good bits and pieces for you guys to have a look at. And I've posted some of the foods that I've grabbed today that I've never seen before on Instagram. I've got a few more bits than what I've posted today. I'll post them tomorrow or over the next couple of days. But anyway, I've done that. Then I went to the gym, did me 15 minutes on a cross trainer. And then as I got off the cross trainer, two of my mates, Dan and Dan, they're both called Dan, by the way. Love flying aircraft. Dan and Dan, all right, mate. What are you up to? Have you just finished? No, I've just come off the cross trainer. Do you fancy PT us both? Yeah, go on then. So I train with them, but they were basically asking if I do run the session for them, and they could just get involved, which I do sometimes when mates are in. I'm quite happy to PT them in the gym. So we did that, and I actually trained with them so I did 50 minutes cross training. I trained with them for an hour, and I went to Aldi on the way home. So I didn't actually get home till 1 o'clock. Felt really tight on the dogs. So I took the dogs for a walk, half an hour, come back, had lunch, worth of calories videos, editing videos. Then I had to come in here and do my weekly weight loss vlog, edited that, uploaded it. Rachel's gone to a class tonight in the gym. So I knew we wouldn't have time to walk the dogs this evening. So I took them back out again at 5:30. So basically, I've just not stopped today. And days like that, I just find it so easy to control calories because I don't even think about food. I've just been grabbing food as I went. I've had the hot honey mac and cheese from My Protein. I grabbed the salt and pepper wrap from Aldi, which weren't great. That weren't great. When I post stuff on my social media, I'm just posting new foods that I find. I don't know if they're good or not. And obviously, if something's good, it's very subjective. Just because, I might watch my worth of calories, right? And videos, and I might go, they're absolutely delicious. And then someone will go, they're disgusting. I've put today that I bought the Mighty Slice cheesecakes, whatever they're called. And I posted them today. Some people are like, they're absolutely disgusting. I didn't finish it straight in the bin. And other people are like, they were the best thing I've ever eaten. So it's kind of like, but for me, that salt and pepper wrap from Aldi, that is a no-go. But I got some chicken tikka breast bites to top the protein up as a little meal deal sort of thing. They were banging. Now, they're both on my this week's worth of calories, so you can watch a full review of that, Anyway, there we go. Watched on Netflix, Biggest Loser. It was a hard watch, poor people, the way they were treated. Absolutely. I'm thinking of doing a podcast on it. I watched it over the weekend, and it kind of signifies everything that weight loss shouldn't be. That is what it does. It signifies, it shows how desperate obese people are to lose weight and how easy they are to take advantage of. I always talk about this. People that are desperate to achieve something are vulnerable. People in their right mind would have not put themselves through what that show put them through. Not just in terms of the stupid challenges that they had them doing, but also in terms of the crazy amounts of exercise they had them doing, the fact that they were giving them 800 calorie a day diets and stuff like that. It's absolutely bonkers. The thing is, most people think that's how you have to lose weight. All you people that might come on my lives and go, I'm eating 800 calories a day, I'm eating 1,000 calories a day, just go watch that show and see what you're doing to yourself. That is what you're doing to yourself, right? Now, don't get me wrong, that is to an absolute extreme. But it's crazy. And I remember watching The Biggest Loser when it was on TV, wishing I was a contestant. I was like, that'd sort my life out. Because that's what people thought. Now, you look at the majority of those people that were in there that lost considerable amounts of weight, where they're at now. They've gained it all back and more. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing a podcast on it because there's also a lot of lies told on the show about just from like medical professionals and this, that, and the other things about damaging metabolisms and all this sort of thing, talking about stimulants, caffeine. And again, could be anyone that if you're overweight and you watch that program, vulnerable people will be like, oh right, I might try that. I might do this. I might do that. And it is just, but yeah, really, really shocking what they went through. Shocking what they went through. Because sometimes you see a show and you think, is it for show? And then behind the scenes, it's all, now you're all right, let's do this, let's do that, let's do the other. And with that, where you've got the trainers shouting in the faces of the contestants. But again, people watch that and then they'll just think that's what all personal trainers are like. When I became a personal trainer, I had so many people message me, like friends and stuff, that would they messaged me and said, I'd love to come for some PT sessions, but I'm not fit enough. I'm like, how backwards does that sound in reality? Like, you don't need to be fit to have a PT session. Like, I start you off at your current fitness level and I'll take you out of your comfort zone. You know, we never push ourselves out of our own comfort zone. That's what the Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge does. I had someone message me today. I need to email Yasmin actually. Let me, Yasmin, if you're on the live now, I've not forgotten. I'm putting you on my list now. I'll send it in the morning if that's all right. I've got to go after this to the petrol station to put fuel in the car. This is my own OCD, but Rachel, please don't think, well, that's a bit mean, Neil. Let her go and put. She doesn't want to put fuel in the car because she's paranoid about putting. We have a diesel. She's paranoid about putting petrol in it because this is the first diesel car she's ever owned. Even though we've had the car 2 years. And I'm also very paranoid about Rachel doing that. If you knew my Rachel, it would be very conceivable for Rachel to put petrol in a diesel. So I put the fuel in the car. It stands with me. And she come home and said, got one bar. I was like, all right, really? No, oh, well, we'll go after this. Anyway, there we go. I've got a Jaffa Cake McFlurry. Absolutely amazing. I loved him. Again, I put that on my social media. Some people were like, "Oh, it was horrible. Oh, it was disgusting." I was like, what part of that Jaffa Cake McFlurry was disgusting? You know, some people were like, there should be more sauce. Yeah, I agree. I think there should be more sauce. But that doesn't make it a bad McFlurry. It just means it could have been a lot better. Right? With more sauce, it would have been sensational. And then some people did say they thought that the balls would be like the sponge from the McFlurry, and the balls like a crispy shortcake, like just basically like chocolate biscuit pieces. Whereas people thought it'd be sponge. And I kind of get that. But I also didn't mind that they were crunchy because I just like texture like that, you know. But again, it's all very, very subjective. But anyway, that Biggest Loser, I think it'd make quite a good podcast to sort of to sort of go through some of the things about it and just discuss it, because honestly, what I saw from that show, and I see it in a completely different light now from when I used to watch it when I was 30 odd stone. Everything that you see on that show is everything weight loss should not be, but it's still the way the majority think they have to lose weight. And that's why I think it'd be good to do a podcast on it. Right, let's do a top. I've not even done a top 5 on TikTok. I've been on 15 minutes. Let's do the top 5. Callum's in at number 1. Steph GC is in at number 2. Kevin is in at number 3. Lou's in at number 4. And Paula is in at number 5. You are, mate. So, 5 this evening. Thank you very much for coming straight live. Saying hello. Faye, good evening. Kelly C. Good evening. Tina's in as well. Stacey, good evening, evening. Going to listen in the car whilst driving home. Brilliant, Tina. Hopefully I don't distract you too much. And for me, I had a few comments of people asking me if I've lost weight, which is nice. It is nice. Compliments are amazing. And I tell you why, people find them hard to give. It's human nature. People find compliments hard to give. The majority of people. I don't like tarring a lot of people with the same brush, but it's just, you know, it's things like, you know, there's different things that are bred into us. You know, like I just said there, most people find it very hard to push them out of their comfort zone. So I'll get a client that starts on plan with me and they say the average 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day. That isn't out of their comfort zone. That's just, and if you're currently averaging 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day, you can probably quite easily do 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day. You're just not willing to take yourself that little bit further. But yeah, compliments. A lot of people, and I tell you why a lot of people find compliments hard to give, because they've never received them themselves. It's very much like, you know, if you've constantly, you know, I always pride myself on my manners a little bit. I always think I've got pretty good manners. You know, every now and then I might slip a little bit and forget the old please and thank you, but I always think I'm pretty good. I was brought up with manners. Like, if you didn't say please or thank you, you not only did not get anything, like sometimes you get a clip around the back of the legs, or you'd be sent to, like, honestly, my dad was really strict with stuff like that. And it's done me no harm whatsoever because I'm absolutely on it. And I despise people that are rude. Absolutely despise people that don't. Just a please or thank you is just, it costs absolutely nothing. And it's one of my pet hates, and I pull people up on it. I don't care if you think I'm a knob, right? You know, and I say all the time, thank you. As in, like, you say thank you to that person. I will say, you know, don't care. It's just the way I am as a person. And if something's bred into us, so like what I'm trying to say there is, if we've received a lot of compliments throughout our life, yeah, you'll be quite happy to give them, but unfortunately, not many of us have. You know, especially if we've been overweight. so it is quite hard for people to give them out. So, and I'm not saying people don't give compliments on purpose. Some people don't, because some people are bitter and twisted and don't like to see other people doing well for themselves. But sometimes it's just not a natural thing for us. So when you get them, what I'm saying is embrace them. It is fantastic. Paula Reed, not struggling, but just wondering if I haven't hit my protein target for the day, but it's the end of the day. You asked this, Paula, and I have actually answered it for you on Facebook. I'll answer it again here, though, because it's a really good question. So Paula on Facebook's she actually put this on, I think, my live this morning. Not struggling, but just wondering if I haven't hit my protein target for the day, but it's the end of the day and I have calories left, what's the benefit of eating protein opposed to a non-protein sweet treat? It's going to bed soon, so wouldn't need to feel full. First of all, Paula, stop sticking to a protein target, right? The main reason why we eat protein on a weight loss journey is to fill us up. Now, don't get me wrong, protein is important in terms of, especially when we're going into a calorie deficit, to preserve muscle. It's important to preserve muscle as we get older, even if we're not in a calorie deficit. Protein also has certain vitamins, amino acids, and minerals that we don't really get from other bits and pieces, and a few that, when we eat meat and stuff like that. So there is lots of benefits to it. But the main reason why we eat protein on a weight loss journey is to fill us up. And you don't need to eat a specific amount. Why I tell my clients not to track a specific amount is just makes things complicated. Paula there straight away is like, she's got this is her dilemma. I've got 150 calories left, but I also need to get 15 grams of protein in. So do I eat 2 eggs? So I've got protein in, but I don't really fancy 2 eggs. I fancy a Freddo and a bag of Space Raiders. Now that's going to mean I miss my protein goal, but I've got the calories to do it, and I like eggs. I like a Freddo and a Space Raider. It's just going to be something a bit sweet, a bit crispy. I've been really healthy all day. I've eaten loads of fruit, loads of veggies. I just fancy like a bit of a sweet treat at night time. And now she's facing this dilemma, because if she has the Freddo and the crisps, she feels like she's failed because she's not hit a protein goal. If she has 2 boiled eggs and hits her protein goal, she'll be miserable because her diet's boring, right? So you've got a face-off, haven't you? If Pamela didn't have a protein goal, right, she wouldn't have that decision to make. She'd be like, I've got 150 calories left. I've eaten loads of protein today anyway. Let's have a Freddo and a bag of Space Raiders, because that's going to put a smile on my face and make my adherence to my diet more sustainable. So first of all, don't hit a protein target. Not many people need one. The only people that need to hit a specific protein target is people that are very serious about building muscle. If you've been going to the gym for 12 months and your main job is to build muscle, you don't need to hit a specific target. You can just follow my advice and you'll get enough protein in your system to do what you need to do, right? To build enough muscle. You only really need to start massively focusing on a protein target when you want to take your training and your physique really up a notch. Yeah. You've always got to have a main goal. Is your main goal muscle building or weight loss? Can you lose weight and build muscle at the same time? Yeah, but one of them needs to be the priority. So first of all, Pamela, get rid of that protein target. It's irrelevant. And you'll get some people, some coaches, some trainers that come on and go, you need to eat your protein so you don't get catabolic, you don't lose muscle mass as well as body fat. If you just prioritize protein in each main meal, 150, 200 grams of yogurt, maybe with a scoop away for your breakfast, right? You have a chicken breast for your dinner, and you have a decent piece of salmon, or you have a tin of tuna for your dinner and a full chicken breast for your tea. For the majority of people, that is going to be you hitting 90 to 100 grams of protein a day. And for the majority of people, that is more than enough protein to do any job you need it to do, right? You'll have enough to build muscle. You'll have enough. Everyone, no, you have to eat a gram of protein for every pound you weigh. That just isn't the necessity at the start of your journey. If you've been training in the gym for 2.5 years and your body's very adapted to resistance training and you have to really push yourself to progressively overload, yes, hitting larger amounts of protein is definitely going to be a lot more beneficial. But from the experience I have with people on a weight loss journey, It's not. So if you're currently working with a weight loss coach or following a weight loss coach, like eat this and eat 110 grams of protein, and this, that, and the other, nonsense. Right? You don't need to. Right? Now, I'm not telling you not to eat protein. Eat a good amount of protein, but it's that trying to hit specific targets all the time. You know, oh, I've not eaten my protein, but I've hit my calories. Oh, I've hit my protein, but I've not hit my calories. I've had to go for my calories to my protein. And it just makes it a struggle all the time. You don't need it. You know, prioritize protein with each main meal. And if you really want to put cream on top, get yourself a protein shake mid-afternoon or a protein yogurt or something like that. You know, if you want one number and you realize, no, I know what you're saying, Neil, but I still want to know, you know, am I doing right with my protein? 25 grams a main meal, right? Minimum, right? That's it. You don't need to hit a specific amount a day, but if you want to check your main meal, has it got 25 grams of protein in it? If it hasn't, you might want to have a little protein shake on the side. You might want to add an extra Baby Bell Light. You might want to, you know, in future, go, right, I had 60 grams of ham on my wrap. I probably need to add 80 next time and maybe, you know, take a little protein shake with me or something like that. Right? That's it. But can you see the dilemma? Does that make sense, Paula? Is this the dilemma you're faced with at night time? I've got 150 calories left and I need 15 grams of protein. I really want, let's say, a Freddo and a bag of Space Raiders, but then I'm not going to hit my protein. To hit my protein, I'd have to have a little protein shake or a couple of boiled eggs or half a tin of tuna, but then I wouldn't have any spare calories to have that Freddo that I'm craving because I've got a sweet craving at the moment. And it's just a horrible place to be. Whereas there's no right answer in that. Whereas if you didn't have that protein target, there is a right answer. Have your sweet treat within your calories. And like you said there, I don't need to be full at the end of the day. You don't. You don't. Sometimes I'll have a protein bar at night time because I enjoy them. And, you know, I do like to get as much protein into my system. You know, I've been training weights for 10, 11 years, so I don't track protein macros myself. I do not eat specific amounts of protein. But 90% of the time, whether it's a snack or a main meal, I want to get protein in it. It's only probably 1 or 2 meals a week or 1 or 2 snacks a week that I eat where I'm not bothered about getting. Last night in bed, you know, I had 35 grams of olive oil crisps, which are ace, by the way. M&S, potato, olive oil, sea salt. That's all it's in about. They are sensei. So 35 grams of them. I had some vegan sweets, which I'm not a massive sweet fan, but vegan sweets, this mix Rachel gets, they are dangerous. They are so good. So I had 150 calories of them. And then I had, you know, like the Cadbury snack biscuits. We got 2 snack biscuits in a pack. They're ace. I had a pack of them, 100 calories, and a pack of mini digestives, 100 calories. No protein priority whatsoever. Same Saturday night, actually, when I came in for the pub. Other than that, Saturday night went out for me tea, right? I had chicken fajitas in a Mexican. One of the main reasons I went for chicken fajitas is I knew it'd have a massive amount of protein in it. For, you know, thought it's going to be no more than 1,000 calories for the meal. And it's probably going to have knocking on 50, 60, 70 grams of protein in it because it's chicken. Yeah. Put £7 on at a week all inclusive. That's all right. Didn't eat much more, but a lot of booze. Will a lot of this be water retention? Yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely no science to this. This is just my experience. I've been on my weight loss journey 11 years, and I'm going to say in those 11 years, I've been on over 20 holidays, right? I love my holidays. I go all the time, right? I do. I live for them. Right? We don't really live a flash lifestyle. We don't spend loads of money going out. In fact, more Saturday night. It's like, who goes out eating and drinking every Saturday? Because me and Rach, we went out eating and drinking every Saturday, 200 quid, right? It's like £100 each, right? Who does that? I've got friends who do that week in, week out. Does anyone else spend £800 a month to £1,000 a month? All my friends are like, oh, you're going on holiday again? How can you afford to go on holiday again? Because I have nights out, like, I think that's the first time me and Rachel have actually been out together for a bit of a boozy meal out in 2025. So I don't mind spending 200 quid the odd time. How do people do that day in, day, like week in, week out? Like, I'm like, and I see my mates on Instagram all the time. Out Saturday night, here, a meal here, meal there, drinks, celebrate, we drink such and such's birthday all the time. I sod that, right? So I go on holidays. I don't spend 200 quid on a night out every 2 weeks. Am I just tight? Maybe. Anyway, yeah, this is my experience. So we go on holidays quite a lot. I live for it, right? If someone said to me, you can never go out again for a night out in the UK, but you can have 4 holidays a year, sound 4 holidays a year, because that's what I do anyway, right? So I've been on a lot of holidays. This is just from my experience of what I weigh when I get back, how quickly I lose the majority of my weight, and then how long it takes me to get to pre-holiday weight. This also works, this theory also works with my clients, and I've worked with over 800 people one-to-one. So when they check in post-holiday and then next check-in 4 days later when it's their official check-in, how much weight they've lost, 70% of your holiday weight gain, right, is excess food weight, water retention. 30% is body fat. I'm not saying that won't vary a little bit person to person, but that is what I've found on average. So Scott there has gained 7 pounds. I would say, Scott, you're at 5 pounds food weight, water retention. That'll be gone by Friday, and you've probably gained a couple of pounds of body fat, right? And that'll be gone a week on Friday if you've got back to it today. Yeah, that's generally how it works. It's also hard to accept a compliment. Joan, 100%. So just the same as I said there, it's very hard for people to give them. For fat people like me, it's very hard to accept them, right? Why? Because again, I was never given compliments, so I never knew how to give them. I also didn't know how to take them. Got very shy, me, very modest. You know, I'd see people, oh, you've lost loads of weight. Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. You know, I always used to play down my achievements, you know. I had 3 grilled Mackey's wraps for lunch today, 1,000 calories, 90 grams of protein. Do you know what? Some people would be like, I see all these carnivore dieters, right? And they're like, am I out and about and I'm struggling? You go to McDonald's and just order beef patties, right? Just have 6 of these. Healthy as out. You know, Pete there, Mr. Harkins, has had 3 grilled chicken wraps. Now, the worst thing about that is the grilled chicken at McDonald's is rank. And I'll eat anything. I've not had a grilled chicken wrap for a long time because it might be much better now. They might have massively improved it. It used to be absolutely ranked in the grilled chicken at Mackey's. Like, so I'd rather have 2 crispy chicken wraps for the same calories. Yes, less volume. Yes, less protein. But there's at least to be an ounce of enjoyment there. But it needs must sometimes. And like I say, the grilled wrap's like 350 calories each, aren't they? So you're at like 1,000 calories and 90 grams of protein. That's nearly for a main meal that's including some carbs and a bit of fat. That's like nearly a 10-to-1 ratio. Put the wrap of the day up to £2.30 of McDonald's. Was $1.99. Don't get me wrong, it's still flipping cheap. Doesn't have that same gloss. That $1.99 wrap of the day. Brilliant. Anyway, Paula Reed, I do eat protein snacks during the day, but in the evening I usually have the sweet treat. Perfect. But wondered if I would be more beneficial to eat more protein. No. The only time it would be if you're on a weight loss journey and you're like, would it be more beneficial to eat more protein? How's your appetite? Like, that's the main reason why we eat protein on a weight loss journey, is to suppress our appetite, is to help control our appetite, to control our calorie intake. If you're constantly hungry all day, right, then it might be a case of, yeah, you need to increase your protein intake, right? But if you're like, nah, I'm eating 90 grams of protein a day, my appetite, don't get me wrong, some days I'm hungrier than others, and some days I have to use a little bit more willpower. That's life. That's nothing to do with you're doing anything wrong. Fortunately, weight loss and controlling appetite isn't the easiest thing in the world, but there's things we can do to make it easier, make it less hard than it actually is. So yeah, but if you're like, yeah, I'm eating 9 grams of protein a day, but I do struggle. I have breakfast at 9, 11 o'clock, I'm Hank Marvin. I have my lunch at 12:30. By 2 o'clock, I'm Hank Marvin. Right, well, maybe you need to look at increasing your protein. And if you're like, well, how do I increase my protein? Because I'm always at my calorie limit, then you need to reduce another macronutrient. Everything we eat is made up of protein, fats, or carbs, right? And you can actually work out, and again, you don't need to overcomplicate yourself with this. But, you know, let's say you're eating whatever this comes out as. Let's say you're eating 90 grams of protein a day. So there's 4 calories per gram of in a gram of protein. So 90 is 360 calories, right? And then you're eating 400 grams of carbs a day, right? And that's 4 calories a gram as well, is carbs. So that's 1,200 calories, right? And then you're having, I don't know, 30 grams of fat a day, right? And our fat's 9 calories a gram, so that's 270, right? So 90 grams of protein is 360 calories, 400 grams of carbs is 1,200 calories, and 30 grams of fat will be 270 calories. If we add all those together, 1560, 1660, 1760, 1830. So that's 1,830 calories. So if you're like, well, if you need to have 120 grams of protein a day to help control your appetite, then you increase your protein by 30 grams and you just reduce your carbs by 30 grams. So then you'd have 120 grams of protein, right? And you'd have 370 grams of carbs. No specific targets, but you can go into like MyFitnessPal or NutriCheck, click on week view, and then click on total macro, how many, what do I need to look at to reduce? Most people, it's fat. Most people overeat fat, right? So my frigging iPad's no battery. Let me put it in. Let me plug it in, and I can. I've got 38% battery on my phone. That'll last me for the rest of the life. And see if it boots up. But I can tell you now. But the one thing I do not overconsume, but the one macronutrient, I don't eat loads of carbs. I eat about 250 grams a day, 1,000 calories. I eat about 160 grams of protein a day, which is, again, like 700, 600 calories or something like that. So that's like 600 calories. I can eat 100 grams of fat a day, which is 90 calories. So it's one thing that I could, which is 900 calories, sorry. So fat is definitely something I could reduce. I don't overeat saturated fat, but I do eat a lot of good fats. I eat nuts. I like a bit of avocado or avocado oil. I don't like avocado. I cook a lot with avocado oil. I eat quite a lot of nuts. I eat quite a few bits. I eat quite a lot. I love my peanut butter and stuff like that. So, fat, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, is calorific, people. Gemma Downs, hi me again. Hello, Gemma. Just want to carry on from that convo about protein, etc. I'm currently with Team RH, and all my macros have been worked out, etc. Like Pamela, I struggle to hit my fiber, protein, and calorie targets. Again, it's too complicated for me. Team RH can do it the way they want to do it. For me personally, I don't see there's any benefit. Now, eating a good amount of protein and hitting a good amount of fiber is, again, protein fills us up. Fiber fills us up. The more protein and fiber you eat, the fuller you're going to feel. Everyone's panicking now because the price of Mounjaro is going to rocket on the 1st of September. You can suppress your appetite naturally. Is it harder to suppress your appetite naturally by planning a high fiber, high protein meal structure on a day-to-day basis than just going once a week? Of course it is, but it can be done. I've learned to fully control my appetite naturally. I've never used any weight loss drugs. I'm telling a lie there. I used Orlistat for 10 days at the start of my journey until I couldn't get to the toilet in time, and I never took it again. That's the only weight loss drug I have taken, right? And you can do it, but this is personal to me. And my coaching style is trying to get people, and again, Jem, you'll be there going, I've hit my calories today and I've hit my protein, but I've not hit my fiber, shit. And then tomorrow you're like, I've hit my fiber, I've hit my protein, but I'm 200 calories. So it's just too complicated. Should we prioritize protein on our diet? Yeah. Should we prioritize fiber in our diet? Yeah. But do you need to hit this exact, bloody hell. It's a flip. I wonder what that was then. It's a flipping wasp. Absolutely catches. It was just on the desk and I smelled like that. I picked it up and it was a flipping wasp. It's dead now, by the way. Part of me shitting myself went and squashed it. Anyway, there we go. I love all animals apart from wasps. They can rot in hell. Anyway, there we go. And flies. Not a fan of them either. But yeah. So he's not hitting all three of those macros detrimental, not to weight loss. No, the number one is calories, right? So you can eat 20 grams of protein a day and 20 grams and 10 grams of fiber a day. In a calorie deficit, you lose weight. It's not detrimental at all. And this is what I say to my clients, prioritize protein as best you can. That should be number one to help control appetite. Try and get some fiber in there as well. Beans, fruits, veggies, bulk out your meals with them. That's going to ramp your fiber up a little bit. If 6 weeks down the line of eating like that and you're like, yeah, I am struggling a little bit with controlling calories, right? Well, let's look at maybe just increasing it. How much yogurt are you having a day? Well, I'm having 125 grams of Greek yogurt with 10 grams of protein powder. Right. Well, let's have 175 grams of yogurt with 20 grams of protein powder. How much granola do you have on top of that yogurt? 30 grams. Right. Well, going forward now, you're going to have 175 grams of yogurt. You're going to have 20 grams of protein powder. And instead of having 30 grams of granola, you're going to have 18 grams of granola. And by cutting out 12 grams of granola, you can now have more protein and more yogurt. And that's going to fill you up. All right. The only reason we have granola on a yogurt bowl is a bit of texture, a bit of crunch. There's absolutely nothing else or any other reason to have that on there. Yeah. And it's the same at lunchtime. Right. What are you having for lunch? Well, I'm having, a tin of tuna and I mix it with light mayonnaise and then I'll have that on a wrap with some lettuce and onion. Great. Right, but I'm hungry afterwards. Right, well, how much light mayonnaise do you have? 2 tablespoons. Well, that's 80 calories. Simple swap. Let's swap that light mayonnaise to lighter than light mayonnaise. I'm not saying it's as good, but when you're mixing it with tuna and you're putting some red onion in there and this, that, and the other, it's not really going to make a massive difference. But 2 tablespoons of lighter than light mayonnaise is 20 calories. 2 tablespoons of light mayonnaise is 80 calories. Now you've got 60 calories left spare, right? So now you can have like one of them protein shots that I've had today from Aldi. That's another 8 grams of protein. So now your 30-gram wrap for another 54 calories is now a 38-gram wrap because you're having a little protein shot with it or something like that. So there's lots of ways to manipulate things. But normally for me, if you're eating, look, the RDA for protein a day for an adult is 60 grams. So if you're eating 100 grams of protein a day, that should, for most people, that's enough to do the job that we want it to do for weight loss. It will also stop you going catabolic and losing muscle mass while in a calorie deficit. And if you're new to weightlifting, it'll be enough protein in your system to repair and build some muscle. Now, a couple of years down the line, you might need to get a bit more specific with your protein goals. But at the start of your journey, you're all good. Yeah. I don't know why people overcomplicate weight loss. I'll tell you why I think Team RH do it. And I don't mean, I think Team RH is a personal training app. Everyone wants fat loss, right? So we're never going to turn down fat loss clients. But Team RH is, they'll have workouts on there. They'll have this. So they'll have people that are coming that, their specific, they'll have a target audience. I don't know what the target audience is. They'll never tell you what their target audience is because they don't want to put off other people, right? But in the grand scheme of things, Team RH's target audience isn't someone that's 22, 23 stone. Rich will never say that because he wants every single person to sign up to his app. People that don't want to lose weight, people that do want to lose weight, people that just want to get fitter, people that want to build weight. He wants everyone. He's a business owner. That's what business owners want, But his plan, the way it's set up to do loads of steps, he's set up for people that want to lose 1.5 stone to get in better shape. That is their USP. My USP is someone. My lightest client that I've ever worked with is 10 stone. My heaviest client I've ever worked with is 650 pounds. But my target audience, if I'm going to be totally honest, is probably 16 stone is obese people or higher, right? And most people that are over 16 stone, right, depending, if you're 6'6", you're probably not, though the BMI scale might class, but most people that are over 16 stone are obese. So my target audience is obese, morbidly obese people that do 3,000-4,000 steps a day, people that have mobility issues, people that have really unhealthy relationships with food, people that are emotional eaters, that, whereas Team RH's target audience is someone that's 13.5 stone and they'd like to be 11.5 stone. You know, their target, and that's the way it is. And his plan will be set up for that. My plan, I do get clients that come on board and they're like, yeah, well, I want to build muscle. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, I'm your weight loss coach. If you want to go and build muscle and train, I'll sort your nutrition out, right? And when was the last time you went to the gym? I've never been to the gym, right? So you don't need any specifics, but I'm not a personal trainer online. I'm a weight loss coach. So I do have quite a lot of clients that work with me. I'm 30 quid a month for their nutrition and their weight loss. And then they'll work with a personal trainer in a gym to learn how to deadlift and bench press and this, that, and the other, So it's if your main goal is weight loss and you're working with a coach whose target audience is fat loss and muscle building and getting fit and healthier, then you're just in the wrong zone. Now, I'm not saying someone that's 25 stone might not get amazing results with Team RH, just like I've had people that are 13 stone and had amazing results with me, right? So it doesn't mean that my coaching style doesn't work for someone that's maybe not my target audience. But you've then got to go, have I had clients that have come to me and I'm just like, I'm not the person for you. You need to, and they'll either make the decision themselves and after 3 months go, I wanted something a little bit different. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to admit that. You can't, See, my thought processes are all as skew as I used to calorie count and lost 10 stone in the past, but then gained it back plus tax. Then saw Slimming World for the longest, then joined Slimming World for the longest time that messed my head up. And I'm trying to get my head around the best straightforward route. It's, and straighten out my walkway of thinking. Yeah, so Gemma, you've calorie counted and lost 10 stone, but you've probably done it in the wrong way, right? There's a right and wrong way to do anything in life, right? So a lot of people go, calorie counting doesn't work. Do it the right way, it does, right? If you've calorie counted by eating 1,200 calories a day, trying to eat the same amount of calories every single day, it's disordered eating. It's never going to lead to long-term things. And then you develop a bad relationship with it. If you then go to Slimming World, lose a lot of weight, gain it back, and now you constantly, every time you eat something that you have to sin, you get guilty about eating it again, So it's one of them. And sometimes it is, it's weight loss is a bit like an abusive relationship. And we've got to tread lightly when we get into our next relationship because, and it can be tough, but, Gemma, you come on my lives a lot. So I assume you're not getting maybe what you need from Team RH because Richie does more lives than me. So he does way more lives than me. Plus, if you're on Team RH, you've got a coach 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Haven't you access them, through the app? You just put a message into the app. How does it take for a coach to get back to you? But obviously there's a reason why you come on here and ask me the questions. Are you not getting the answer? Or are they giving you the answers, but you don't like the answers that they're giving you? That can be another thing. That can be quite frustrating as a coach, One of the things which I think is a great thing, but it also a bad thing, is with Team RH. And I've seen that Richie talk about this. You log everything through their app, so they're big brother. Right? And if you go to them with an issue and say, well, you've not eaten your protein, your fiber goals, what are you expecting? But that's their get out clause. So if they come to you and go, oh, well, Team RH haven't helped me, they've not given me the support I thought they would do, they can come back and go, these are the targets we set, Gemma. Gemma's never hit her targets. So first of all, we said to Gemma, when you start hitting your targets, if you're then not getting the results that you think you should be getting, then we'll come in and help you. But if you can't even do the basics, how are we meant to help you? But what the thing is, the basics that they're asking you to hit aren't relevant. They're too hard for you to hit. It's overcomplicated. Like say, trying to balance, you've got to be so on it to balance hitting the right amount of protein, fiber, and calories all at the same time. That is tough. That is a tough thing to do. And for the majority of people, you don't need to do it. It's pointless. It's not easy balancing all these different numbers. It really isn't. It's like budgeting your household, isn't it? This is why so many people end up in money. We're not taught how to budget a household. Right, well, I've got this, I've got my rent, I've got my council tax, I've got this. Right, so if I take that and that and that, now I've not got enough money to eat. Yeah, but you put £200 into savings. Yeah, but I need to save £200 because I'm trying to buy a house into. Yeah, well, let's save 150. If I take that £50 out there and put, it's flipping hard work, isn't it? And that's what you're trying to do. My clients, I find at times struggle just to budget calories. They get given one number, and some of them can't even stick to one number. So trying to stick to 3 different ones that are all affected, right? The amount of protein you eat affects the amount of calories you consume, right? The amount of fiber you eat affects the amount of calories you consume. The amount of calories you consume on carbohydrates and fat affects the amount of calories you can have left over for protein and fiber. It's mind-boggling, right? And when it actually hitting all these specific numbers doesn't actually give you any better results than just going, just make sure you get a decent amount of fiber. Eat fruits and veggies, right? Try and eat fruits and veggies 2 out of 3 meals. If you do it 3 out of 3, perfect. Try and do it 2 out of 3, right? And then 2 or 3 times, have at least 1 tin of beans a week and maybe make something like a chili. And if you're going to have a bit of bread, make sure it's wholemeal bread. If you're going to have pasta, make sure it's whole wheat pasta. That's your fiber sorted, right? With your protein, just make sure that each main meal you prioritize a good bit. That's your protein sorted. Not complicated. Some days you'll eat 80 grams of protein. Some days you'll eat 110 grams of protein, right? So there's no need to overcomplicate things. Right, I'm doing a lot of Facebook, YouTube. Let me go through TikTok. I apologize. I've been neglecting you this evening. But it goes like that sometimes, Right, Sheila, good evening. I'm sorry if I've missed any good evenings. I've been very, very busy. Very, very busy. I'm very, very busy. I've done 3,000 steps, 33,000 steps today. James, that's amazing. Your steps are right back in the game. Right back in the game, mate, aren't they? How hard would it be to get down from 18% body fat to 12%? You're asking the wrong person. I've never been 18% body fat in my life, let alone 12%. Just too much fat to think about. So many different goals and trying to get them perfect. Yeah. Mind melting. And people wonder why they're struggling, Let me scale up. Today's excuse, I can't get my steps in. Milo needed cuddles. Milo also would have loved a 2-hour walk, but Milo cuddles is very, very important. To be fair, I was so tired this morning. I'm so glad I've been so busy today. It's just the effects of a weekend, Saturday night drinky session. I was so tired today. I thought I was going to really struggle with my movement today. I really did. I was driving to Sainsbury's to do my weight loss vlog, shopping vlog, yawning. I'm drinking a Monster Energy while yawning at the same time. I'm like, today's going to be tough. But anyway, I've managed to get them in. I'd give Milo cuddles. He's ace. I was with TMRH, but can't talk to anyone because I had a bypass. I couldn't hit the target. Yeah, I mean, I assume they take that into account. I don't know. The only answer TMRX gives you is your tracking is, to be honest, I do also have COVID. Well, that's not a bad excuse. I know nowadays COVID's kind of a cold, as it were. You can go out and mix with anyone, but isolate. If I get a really bad cold, and this was pre-COVID, I would never go into an office or go to the gym, even if I felt like going. To be honest with you, I did used to go to the gym if I had a really bad cold. I'd try and avoid people, and then I'd go and sit in the steam room. Steam room's over 100 degree humidity. No germs are living in there, but it's really good for flushing out a cold. But yeah, so and it is their get out clause. It is their get out clause. If they put, I don't know if they have a money back guarantee or anything like that. But, in all honesty, I've had people in the past come to me and go, after 3 months, I'm a bit disappointed with your plan. I didn't get I thought I'd have got better results. I'm like, when you started on plan, you told me you were averaging 6,000 steps a day. I gave you a 500 step increase per week. You've got no mobility issues. 12 weeks into your plan, you're still doing 6,000 steps a day. Every week, let's pick these steps up. Is there a reason why we're not getting these steps going? No, I just need to put a bit more effort in. What do you want from me? It's like, so I kind of get your tracking's rubbish or you're not putting the effort in, because that can be a reason. But if you're setting something that's so hard to hit, and it is, I'm absolutely on it. Calories, protein, fiber, I'm absolutely, on average, I smash all my goals, right? Not that I set myself specific targets, but in terms of like RDAs or, it won't be. But if I had to hit a specific amount of protein, fiber, and steps and calories day in, day out, I would just be like, yeah, that ain't happening. But it's a get out clause. That'll be the T's and C's, You will get the results. I say this all the time. You come on my plan, you will get the results. But you've got to stick to my plan. But I ask you to stick to an extremely healthy amount of calories, and I ask you to do a very reasonable amount of steps, right? And everything I set you is perfectly achievable for your ability. Otherwise, I wouldn't set it. And in the T's and C's of my plan, it literally says, if you feel any part of my plan is not achievable, please raise it straight away and we can look at it and adjust it. So, and don't get me wrong, I don't do a money back guarantee or anything like that because they're not worth the paper they're written on. So I could do, and I'd never have to honour it. But I don't want to be that person that goes, right, well, prove to me that you stuck to my plan perfectly. Not that it's a perfect weight loss journey, but you've stuck to my calories on average. You've done this, you've done that. Well, no, you told me on week 3, yeah, but still, the plan's the plan. You've got the results you need to. Don't want to get down that alleyway. It's horrible. Anyway, so that'll be their get out clause. We didn't get the results. Yeah, but we've got the data here. You didn't stick to it. Well, am I meant to stick to it? And they won't. And it doesn't sound that bad, does it? It doesn't. It doesn't sound that bad, does it? Eat your protein, eat your fiber, eat your protein, eat your calories. Sounds quite simple and straightforward, but not when they react with each other so much. It isn't. A lot of people in Newcastle are on Team RH. Well, he's a Geordie. Is he Geordie? Or is he Sunderland? Is he a Mackem? I don't know if he's a Geordie or Mackem. I'm not sure, actually. Probably because he's from here. If you want to go for a run one week and the gym the next, he doesn't like it because it's a changing routine and affects energy output. Very odd. Well, it doesn't really. Again, it's too much, too complicated. Like, say, look, I'm not going to... I don't like getting in too much with other creators. And to be honest with you, some people will get great results, just like some people look at my plan and go, oh, that's rubbish, it's a waste of time. But, I just think where the issues are with someone like, let's say, if you've got an issue with someone like that, it's wrong person working with wrong target audience or wrong, it's just, but they're never going to turn them down. And I'm the same in a way. I'll be honest with you, I'm a businessman. So, if someone comes to me that's 12 stone, I will work with them. And at the start of my career as an online coach, I actually turned a couple of people down that I felt personally didn't have a weight issue. What I started to learn was that over time, everyone's weight issue is relative to them. And I'm very good at the mindset of weight loss and working with that. And so whether you're 11 stone or whether you're 20 stone, some people can still have quite bad mental health around weight loss. So, Team RH are amazing. Great. And that's it, you see. A lot of people like them. Or there's always going to be yin and yang, isn't there? And if what they do works for you, brilliant. And it's great because they're not expensive. It all seems quite, all run through an app, which is always nice and efficient and stuff like that. But I think some people, I think it's just a case of trying to put square pegs in round holes or round pegs in square holes, whatever the saying is, Was it worth shopping in Sainsbury's? I've been like twice in my life. And how were the McVitie gold ice creams? Sainsbury's was all right, actually. I was like a fish out of water. It was a bit of an awkward vlog because of a few different circumstances. But every supermarket has its own like little gimmicks, as it were, or own little either like unique like brand deals. So only certain things are available. And yeah, it was. I saw a few different bits and pieces that I've never seen in another supermarket, and they might be in another supermarket, but maybe just because I was really looking and having a look about. Well, I think tin stuff and that is all very much of a muchness at times. I don't really spend too much time. I like the fridge sections, the ready meal sections, the bread sections. cereals, something. Those are the main areas I sort of have a look at. And there were some good bits. I got some fresh, like I've never seen them before, My Protein meals. So I only thought you could get My Protein meals from Iceland, the frozen ones. But they do in Sainsbury's, they had heat and eat ones. They might do them at all supermarkets. I have no idea, but I've been to Tesco and Asda. We go to Tesco probably twice a month, go to Asda probably once a month. Never seen them in there. So I've grabbed 3 of them. I got that protein cheesecake, which I've never had before. What else did I get? I didn't really get that much. There wasn't loads I needed, but I did pick a few bits up and give, I had to look at, like, they did a protein yogurt similar to Aldi's protein yogurt. Just a little comparison. Bit dearer, Aldi's protein Greek style yogurt, £1.50, 500 grams. Sainsbury's £1.65 for 450 grams. So you get a bit less for a bit more money. But still not a bad option. And it was just strained like cow's milk. There's no added sugars or anything like that in it. So it was decent. Just had a bit of pulled out a couple of Sainsbury's like ready meals that weren't protein ready meals that actually had a decent protein. So, if you can't be bothered cooking or just the things. So, a couple of those bits and pieces. Meant to have a look at the meal deal section and I forgot. So I will go again. I'll probably go to a different Sainsbury's. That one was a bit weird. I've been in that Sainsbury's a few times. It's proper random. Anyway, but yeah, I think I've done a good vlog. It'll be about 15, 16 minutes long and picked up a few different bits and pieces. So I always say that with Sainsbury's. I love the My Protein chili you get in Sainsbury's. It might be that one. I've got a chili, a firecracker chicken and something else, like in a little heat and eat pot that you just ping in the microwave. I ate tuna, green beans, broccoli and peas. I literally only ate 1,200 calories per day. If that, I was told I was borderline eating disorder. You weren't borderline, Jamie. That is, if you ate nothing but tuna, peas, green beans and broccoli day in, day out and such 1,200 calories a day, that is an eating disorder. I'm not saying it's severe as something like anorexia or bulimia, but that is an eating disorder. You can't talk to a coach unless you've been hitting your targets every day for 21 days. You can't get through to anyone if you're struggling. So you're just a number in a system. And, and again, how much is it? It's like £8 a month in it, or £10 a month. Like, I have a community subscription that's £9.99 a month. And people that just subscribe to my community, they can ask me questions in the weight loss Q&A group on WhatsApp, but they can't direct contact me because it's £10 a month. I can't dedicate my time to someone that's paying me £2.50 a week. I massively appreciate anyone that just subscribes to my community. And I know a lot of people that just subscribe to my community, they love chatting in the WhatsApp groups. They like coming on the private Zoom sessions we do. And I think for £10 a month, I think you get a lot out of it for what you're paying this day and age. What's a £10 nowadays? Unfortunately, it's nothing. And I've had people cancel. People message me, they join the community. Can I ask you some questions? Yeah, you can ask. We do a Zoom once a week. Come on there, get your hand up. Everyone's welcome to. Or get on the weight loss Q&A group. Oh, well, they're a bit private. I'm like, not a problem at all. That's what the one-to-one plan's for, where you can then interact with me one-to-one. That's why it's called one-to-one. Oh, well, I thought I'd be able to do it in the community. I'm like, it's £9.99 a month. Like, how much time can I dedicate to someone when you work for yourself for a tenner, 2 minutes, couple of minutes? And I don't mean that. You might be there going, £10, 2 minutes at £10. What? So you charge flipping £600 an hour or something, however much it works out as. But no, it doesn't work like that. Like, it's just a case of, to dedicate, because your £10 isn't just asking me a question. Anyone can ask me one question for a tenner, but then you've got a month's access to the community. You get to come on my Zoom sessions. You get to come on the weight loss coaching lives. You get access to the eating guides. You get to chat with, a safe group with over 400 people in it. You get to go on the Facebook page. You get all that alongside it. So, anyone can say, if anyone on here wants to ask me a direct personal question and pay me a tenner, I'll do, 100 of them a week. I'm done. Thank you very much. That'd be superb. I don't need to work anymore. Or I don't need to try and build a business and keep a business going anymore, So again, with Team RH, it's very cheap. Like I say, and I think for your £10 a month, you don't get a calorie tracking app as well, like access to workouts and recipes and stuff like that. So it is really, really cheap, So what would I get with the one-to-one, as I'm very interested. So with my one-to-one plan, it's the last one for me today. I've got to go because I've got to go to the petrol station to fill the car up. My one-to-one plan, you get me, right? And there is just me, so I do ask a little bit of patience. So if you message me at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, it might be 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon before I get back to you, but it is me messaging. It's only me. Hello. There's no one else that's going to message you. If the dogs could work WhatsApp, I might get Blossom or Wilma if she stayed here, or Betty to message, but you can't. You just get me. So with the one-to-one plan, you get a full plan to follow. It is simple but effective. It's straightforward. Everyone can hit the targets that are set on it, And if you can't, I'll work with you to help you hit those targets. You get fortnightly check-ins with me. So every 2 weeks, you get a one-to-one check-in with me. It's just done through WhatsApp. It's not done on a video. A lot of people, I had someone inquire the other day saying, I can't talk on video, so I'm really worried about check-ins. Like, no, it's just done through WhatsApp. I'm like, oh, thank God for that. You just WhatsApp me your details, and I can send you a template, send them in, and then I'll WhatsApp you back. Sometimes I might voice note you back with advice, tips, anything like that. But also with the one-to-one plan, if you need me in between check-ins, you can WhatsApp me 24/7. Right? That's absolutely not a problem at all. So, if you need to ask me, I had, it was Katie yesterday. Are the calories right in these noodles? Someone messaged me on Friday, I'm out for my dinner. Can you guesstimate this? Someone messaged me this morning. Can you give me advice on this for this week or this? You can message me whenever you want to. Right, so I'm always there for you. But directly as check-ins, we do those every fortnight. So you get a full plan to follow. You get personal one-to-one check-ins with me. You get access to my WhatsApp. So you're not messaging a random coach through an app. You don't have to hit your targets after 21 days. You can message me every single day and ask me a question if you want to and reach out. And then you get access to the community as well. So we've got private Zoom sessions in there. We have a private Facebook group. We have a private WhatsApp group, chit chat group, recipes group, weight loss Q&A group. There's all sorts. The one-to-one at the moment is 15 quid to sign up. That's it. And then you'll pay. I ask for 3 months commitment. After that, it's a rolling contract. You can cancel whenever you want. So if you sign up today, you pay 15 quid. I'll get you going on Monday. You'll pay $29.99 the 1st of September, $29.99 the 1st of October, $29.99 the 1st of November. You'll be covered all the way up basically to Christmas, and that's it. After the end of 3 months, if you want to continue, it's just a rolling contract. You can then pay $29.99 December, January, and keep working with me. You can work with me for the next 2 years if you want to, right? So there you go. So that is the one-to-one plan. So if you want to get on board, 15 quid payment. We'll get you going a week today. Nothing more to pay until a week on Monday. 3 payments of $29.99. After that, if you've learned enough, you're happy going your own way, you might as well downgrade to the community then and stay in with the community, but do your own check-ins. If you still need more help, you just pay $29.99 a month. When you sign up with me, the price will never change. So if you're working with me this time next year and you've not cancelled, it's $29.99. If you're working with me in 3 years' time, it will still be $29.99 a month. All right. If you don't want a monthly payment to go out, you can sign up for a year. At the moment, it's 260 quid. One-off payment, £260, done, and that is you covered until next August. One-to-one coaching with me, and you'll be at least 4 stone down if you follow what I say. Right? And I'll do my very best to make sure you do follow what I say. You can be more than that. I've had clients that signed up with me this time last year, and they're 7 stone down, right? But minimum, for most people, if you're overweight, obese, morbidly obese, I set a minimum target of 4 stone in a year, right? And we'll just work together to get you to hit that minimum. Beck's worth every penny. Thank you very much. And Callum, thank you very much. And Lynn, thank you very much. I don't need to sell the plan. Ask the guys on the live. A lot of people that come on the lives are on my one-to-one plan, and the feedback I get from you guys is amazing. So thank you. Sorry if I'm keeping on about. Oh yeah. Sorry, mate. Is this your plan? Right, I've got to go. I've really got to go. Pete, he said, yeah, I'll send it now for you, mate. And then, guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:30. I've got to go. Rachel's looking at me. We've got to go to the petrol station, and she wants to go to bed. So, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. I will. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all good. And then if you are on plan, if you have signed up, we've got a weight loss coaching live tomorrow. 10 a.m. I'm going to do it because I need to go and get my hair cut. 10 a.m. I haven't fully decided on the topic yet. I'll sort that out in the morning and then I'll let you know and I'll send the links out. Guys, have a great evening. TikTok, sign up to you first. See you later. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. And then Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, same to you. You want to come on plan, come get signed up. Link on my link tree is what you want. Click on the link. Use code SUMMER50 for the half price sign up for the monthly plan. Use code SUMMER20 to get a full 12 months for £260 one-off payment. I'll see you in the morning.